you, Aygül. Nice to meet you.
Hello, dear friends. Hello, our auditory. Mən hər kəsi salamlayıram. Qısa tanışlıq üçün fürsətdən istifadə hər kəsə minnətdaram qoşulanlara. Biz bu günləri canlı yayımdayıq və bu canlı yayımda canlı yayım aparacaq şəxs cənab Orxan Abbasovdur. Bizim Su İnnovasiya Forumunda ikinci panelin moderatoru. Orxan müəllim, söz sizdədir. Siz özünüzü təqdim etdikdən sonra iştirakçılarla bağlı məlumat verəcəyik. Buyurun.
Mən ingiliscə danışım, yoxsa Azərbaycan dilində?
Biz canlı yayımda Azərbaycanca danışa bilərsiniz.
Bəli. Çox sağ olun, çox təşəkkür edirəm Orxan müəllim bugünkü canlı yayıma görə. Əlbəttə ki, biz çox vacib bir problem ətrafında yığışmışıq və su forumunda da yığışmaq istəyirik. Bu çox vacib bir məsələdir Azərbaycan üçün. Biz bilirik ki, yaxın 20 il ərzində Azərbaycan su stresini daha artıq yaşayan bir ölkəyə çevriləcək. Bu o deməkdir ki, bizim su ehtiyatlarımız iqlim dəyişmələrinin təsiri ilə azalacaqdır. Bu həm də o deməkdir ki, biz yaxın 20 il ərzində təkcə su mənbələrimizi qorumaq deyil, həm də sudan yenidən istifadə haqqında çox ciddi düşünməliyik. Bu məqsədlə biz aparıcı ölkələrin texnologiyalarını Azərbaycana gətirməliyik və bu texnologiyaların Azərbaycanda istifadəsini, eləcə də istehsalını təşkil etmək barədə fikirlər düşünmək artıq lazım olacaq. Çünki sudan yeni istifadə Azərbaycan üçün tamamilə yeni bir sahədir. Heç bir demək olar ki, yaşayış məhəlləsi işlənmiş sudan istifadə etmir. Biz ancaq yeni sulardan istifadə edirik. Mən sizə bir söz də deyim, deməli, Bakı şəhərindən dənizə axıdılan təmizlənmiş suyun miqdarı təqribən Oğuz-Qəbələ su kəmərinin gətirdiyi su qədərdir. Bu deməkdir ki, burada çox ciddi resurslar var və bu su daha yaxşı təmizlənərək yenidən içməli su kimi insanların istifadəsinə verə bilər. Və bu bəlkə də deməli, wastewater management, yəni çirklənmiş suların idarə olunması bizim xilas yolumuzdur, yeganə xilas yolumuzdur ki, biz bu məsələyə çox ciddi baxmalıyıq. Başqa bir problem bizim dağ regionlarındadır. Bilirik ki, bizim dağ saylarımız Azərbaycanın əsas su mənbələrindən hesab olunurlar. Çox təəssüflər olsun ki, bu ərazilərdə də çirklənmələr baş verir. Bu çirklənmələr əsasən kiçik yaşayış məntəqələri tərəfindən baş verir, hardakı su təmizləmə qurğuları yoxdur. Kiçik istirahət mərkəzləri, otellər, turizm mərkəzləri tərəfindən çirklənmələr çoxdur. Məsələn, elə yerlər var ki, hətta bu su axıdılır, yuxarı axında su axıdılır, 5 kilometr aşağıda isə insanlar içməli suyu pul ilə alırlar. Yəni, bax, bu idarə etmə prinsiplərini tətbiq etməyin vaxtı çatmışdır. Bundan ötürü bizə həm də deməli, dağ regionlarında model tipli çox kiçik su təmizləmə qurğuları lazımdır ki, bizim çaylarımız çirklənməsin, əksinə yeni təmizlənmiş sularla təmin olunsunlar ki, onlardan da aşağı axınlarda istifadə oluna bilsin. Mən bu qədər, əgər əlavəniz varsa, Orxan bəy, mənim sözümə əlavə edə bilərsiniz.
Çox sağ olun, Orxan müəllim. Düz qeyd edəcəksiniz ki, bu Azərbaycan üçün həm ümumbəşəri, həm yerli səviyyədə vacib bir məsələdir ki, ətraf mühiti və təbiətimizi qorumalıyıq və dolayısıyla flora faunaya töhfələrimizi verməliyik. Mən icazənizlə təklif edirəm ki, artıq qonaqlarımızın təqdimatına başlayaq və ingilis dilinə keçid edək və hər çıxışdan sonra qısa tərcümələr də edəcəyik. Buyurun, söz sizdən.
Okay. Thank you very much. I want to introduce Emiel Koster and Aygül. They will talk about Aygül. So Aygül is a very common name in Azerbaijan as well. So you both welcome, and I wanted to ask Emiel Koster about his company's work, his company's experience, what can be done in Azerbaijan in terms of wastewater treatment technologies, application of this kind of technologies, what can be done in Azerbaijan in terms of recycling. He is international expert in this area, and I would like to have his ideas to share with us.
Yeah. First, it will be better to have a short introduction of the Emiel. Who is Emiel Koster? Who is Aygül? Which company they represent, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Short introduction from my side. My name is Emiel Koster. I'm the area sales director responsible for the sales of our company in a very big area. Let's say roughly everything east from Germany, north from China, until Alaska. So that's a very, very big part of the world. Working already for more than 30 years for the company. Started with preliminary equipment, and then certainly it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And doing that with very, very big enthusiasm, with very big pleasure, trying to help the world to clean their water and their wastewater. Aygül, maybe shortly to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for.
Aygül, can you make short introduction about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a Nijhuis representative in Central Asia, responsible for Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Azerbaijan as well. And I'm very happy and glad to meet you, and very glad to participate in upcoming wastewater treatment forum. Thank you, Orxan, for inviting us, and eager to see everyone and meet personally.
Thank you very much, Aygül. I want to have a question to Emiel.
Dmitri also joined us. I would like to ask Dmitri to introduce himself, please.
Okay, hello, Dmitri. Nice to meet you in our live stream. And please introduce yourself. We are in live stream, and it would be nice to have your thoughts about yourself.
I think there's something wrong with the connection, Dmitri.
Maybe
Yes,
Aygül,
yes.
you were doing his introduction.
Yeah, maybe shortly. Dmitri Molokonov is our director for STAN countries, operating also for the Russian market. We are working together already, let's say, for the last 25 years. A dear friend of mine, and we are trying to sell our products in the world. Orxan, to come a little bit back on your question of what is Nijhuis Water Industries, what is Nijhuis Saur Industries. Nijhuis Water Technology is a company which is already 117 years old. This year we will become 118 years. And of course, we did not start with wastewater. I mean, we started as a machine shop in those days, a very long time ago. And in that way, we developed at a certain moment into a company which is dealing with industrial wastewater. We are currently operating under the group Saur. Saur is a French group. Also a relatively long existing company. It was started in 1933, and it's one of the biggest, let's say, operators of plants and wastewater treatment plants in France and also in other parts of the world. In total, the whole group has roughly 12,000 employees worldwide, so it's a big company. The total revenue which we reached is 2 billion, so that's also a big amount. And last but not least, we have, of course, a lot of references. So we have more than 4,300 references worldwide, and those references are all in a very different fields. It goes, let's say, from drinking water preparation to engineering, to wastewater treatment, to industrial wastewater treatment. And that looks very broad, but what we are trying to do as a company is to provide a solution for an integrated water cycle. So we provide a solution for that. So we are not only looking to wastewater. We are also looking to the intake. We try basically to close the loop. We have a motto for that. The motto is Mission Water. And basically our company is divided in 3 divisions. One is water services, which contains all things which has to do with drinking water, which has to do with treating wastewater, water engineering, and where we are part of industrial solutions. Orxan.
Okay.
Röşən, mən icazə versəz qısa tərcümələri də eləyim. Hörmətli izləyicilərimiz, bugünkü tədbirdə Nijhuis Saur Industries'in satış müdürü Emiel Koster iştirak edir. Eyni zamanda Rusiya bölməsinin və regional rəhbəri Dmitri Molokonov və Mərkəzi Asiya üzrə satış nümayəndəsi Aygül Nurmagambetova iştirak edir. Onlar özlərini qısa təqdim etdilər. Emiel bəy Nijhuis haqqında məlumat verərək qeyd edir ki, 117 illik böyük tarixə malik bir şirkətdir. Hal-hazırda Fransanın Saur qrupuna qoşulmuşuq və Saur qrup dünyada fərqli yerlərdə 12 mindən çox əməkdaşı olan böyük bir holdingdir, qrupdur və Nijhuis Industries şirkəti artıq Saur qrupunun fəaliyyəti qanatları altında çalışır və Azərbaycan daxil olmaqla bir çox dünya ölkələrində inteqrə edilmiş su sistemlərinin təkrar emalı və dövrəyə qaytarılması sayəsində ixtisaslaşmış bir şirkətdir. Qısa olaraq rejimə verdim. Buyurun, devam edelim.
Thank you very much, Orxan, for your translation. Emil, we have a wide audience. Our audience are not comprised by experts, so I want to give you some introduction about to wastewater. Why wastewater should be treated? What's recycling? Why it's important?
I think that why is this important? I think and why we are so passionate about doing that in a proper way. I think everybody in the world has to realize that only 6 to 8% of all the water in the world is sweet water. So water that we can drink. And that's, if you look to that, a relatively small amount. Every person, depending on your size and whether you're female or male, is consisting somewhere between 70 to 80% out of water. If we don't treat our water well, then our children and our grandchildren will have problems. And this is not something we only see, let's say, in developing countries. We have to be aware of that for instance, in a country like the Netherlands, where we are located, we are a delta of a river. The Netherlands is a delta of a river. But even in the Netherlands, we see now that during the summer, because of the climate change, we have droughts. We have the problem that we have less and less water to spray on our fields to make sure that our crops are growing. So we have to look to solutions for that. Are the solutions there? Yes, they are. Will they need investment? Yes, of course they will need investment. But everybody needs to understand the value of water. If we don't treat our water well, then for sure our children and our grandchildren will have problems. Because there will be droughts, there will be less crops, there will be less food, and the world population is growing. So we have to take care of. How can we take care of the water? By looking how we can reuse the water. That's very important. We see more and more technologies in the market which makes it possible not only to treat the wastewater, but also to reuse the water and clean it until a level where it can be reused. But before investing that, we should look deeper.
Ik ben bang dat ik geen zoekresultaten voor kan lezen.
We should look deeper. We should look to the company itself. Because every pollution which is not ending up in the wastewater, you don't have to take out. In the past, to give you some examples, I saw a lot of companies opening the gullies of their factories using water and spray everything outside. The factory is clean, but the pollution is in the wastewater. If you would use very simple solution. First, a broom to clean it, and then after that, water. Then you already solve a very big problem that there is less, or you're already part of the solution because less water, less pollution is getting into the wastewater. Maybe Orhan, you want to translate.
Yes, Emiel, thank you for your speech. I just impressed of your speech and just checked the motto you have told. I'm writing down to my colleagues that to publish it online. It's very important to everybody to need to understand the value of water and the environment. That's the important point. Thanks for that. Hörmətli izləyicilərimiz, Emiel Koster məlumat verərək bildirdi ki, su təmizləmə açığı nə üçün hər kəsə lazımdır, Tullantı sudan idarə edilməsi nə üçün vacibdir? Çünki ikiliyindən asılı olmayaraq insanların orqanizmləri 70-80% civarında sudan ibarətdir. Hər bir şəxs yaşaması üçün sudan istifadə edir və dünyada şirin su ehtiyatları, ümumi su ehtiyatlarının çox az miqdarını təşkil edir və hal-hazırda Niderlandda, yəni Hollandiyada yaşadığı, Niderlandlarında yaşadığı dövrdə belə iqlim dəyişikliyinə əlaqədar su qıtlığı və quraqlığın olduğunu qeyd edir. Bu böyük investisiyalara və sudan təkrar istifadəyə tələbat yaradır. Biz suyumuzu növbəti nəsillər, nəvələrimiz, uşaqlarımızın gələcəyi üçün qorumağı və ətraf mühit üçün qorumağı bacarmalıyıq qeyd etdi. Qısa olaraq bu qədər. Floor is yours, Mr. Emiel.
Okay, so if I may continue, we have 3 words in order to do that. Reduce, reuse, recover. Those are the 3 words. Reduce means reduce the amount of water you are using, but also reduce the amount of pollution which can get into the water. And this was the example which I was giving. Reuse, that's closing the loop. That's making sure you can reuse your wastewater as water for your company. But also recover. In a lot of water, people have not don't look at that at this moment, but in a lot of wastewater, there is a lot of value. Value in the form of fats, value in the form of certain metals, value in the form of energy, which you all can take out of the wastewater and use it to your benefit. So with the words reduce, reuse, recover, we try to close the loop. Is that possible at this moment for every industry? I think technologically, yes, that's for sure. But the industry not only looks to technology, what is technologically possible, the industry also looks to what is economically viable. And in certain countries, very open and honest, the price of drinking water is too low. In the Netherlands, the price for drinking water is too low, which means that not all the companies are looking for recycling. But if you are in a country where the price is becoming higher and higher, or other way around, water becomes more scarce, people will look to solutions to reuse the water. And there are plenty of solutions for that.
Thank you very much, Emil. As we know, Azerbaijan will be water-stressed country by 2040, and then there will be even more water stress in 2070. What can be a role of the recycled water to increase water security Azerbaijan, and what your company can do?
Just let me explain that to an example which we can tell to the audience, which we have done in Poland. This company which we are talking about is a chicken slaughterhouse, and this chicken slaughterhouse wanted to expand their production, which is logical. I mean, they want to earn more money, they are economically, let's say, healthy, and they want to expand. So in order to slaughter chicken, you need water. So they were looking at their wells where they took their water from, and they got no, let's say, license from the authorities to take more water. Why? Because also Poland has to do with water stress. There in summertime, it's dry. So also there, we saw that the company could not expand. So The company at that moment had 3 options. Option number 1, build a complete factory somewhere else, completely new, somewhere else where there is more water to get or less competition for the water, and we build a complete new factory. That could be a solution for them. The second solution, which they also could take, is to put a part of the production somewhere else. But that would lead to a lot of logistical issues and a lot of transport. Number 3, reuse their wastewater. That was the third solution. So they investigated those 3 solutions, and they decided, because that was the lowest investment and the lowest cost, to reuse their wastewater. We are talking here about wastewater from a chicken slaughterhouse. Maybe you can translate first, Orxan.
Yes, thank you, Emil. Hörmətli izləyicilərimiz, qısa olaraq deyim ki, Emil bəy qeyd etdiyi tullantı suların idarə edilməsi sahəsində 3 əsas prinsipi vurğuladı. Qənaət etmək, təkrar istifadə etmək və təkrar emal edərək sudan istifadə etməyə təmin etmək sahəsidir. Bu reduce, reuse and recover prinsipləri əsasındadır. Bu nəyə gətirib çıxaracaq? Sudan qənaət etmək, üstünlük verməkdir, daha müasir texnologiyalar istifadə etmək, suya qənaət edən texnologiyalardan istifadə etməyə üstünlük vermək, təkrar istifadə etmək, suyu təkrar istifadəsi üzrə ixtisaslaşmış avadanlıqlardan istifadə etmək və təkrar emal etmək. Təkrar emal etmək həm suyu baxımından qeyd edir Emil bəy, eyni zamanda suyun tərkibindəki digər dəyərlərdən istifadə etmək olar. Bu suda olan, tullan suyunda olan yağlardır, ağır metallardır və digər kimyəvi elementlərdir ki, siz bunları təmizləyərək onları da təkrar istifadə edə bilərsiniz. Nümunə üçün də Rövşən müəllimin sualına cavab olaraq bir dedi ki, nəyə görə tullan suyu istifadə edilməsi vacibdir? Bir kiçik kəsimxanasının fəaliyyətindən nümunə verək bir dedi ki, həmin qurum yatırım edərək həmin şirkət suyun təkrar istifadəsi ilə həm suya qənaət etdi, həm də öz xərclərini azaltmağa nail olmuşdur. Thank you.
Okay.
So to give you, let's say, the idea, without going into too much technical details, what we are doing in this factory in Poland. Everybody can imagine what will happen if you slaughter a chicken and what will end up in the wastewater. We are talking then about blood, we are talking about meat scraps, we are talking about feathers. So it's highly polluted, red-colored wastewater. In order to treat that, we have to follow all kind of treatment steps. And very black and white saying, it starts with a filter. We have a flocculation flotation system. We have a biological treatment system. We have a UF system, and we have a reverse osmosis system. And in that way, we were able to make a loop in which the client produces from their wastewater certified, it's officially certified, drinking quality water, which he was allowed to reuse in his slaughter process. So this is water which is directly into contact with food which people will eat, but it was certified. But that's not the only thing which is important if you do something like that. Because if you close the loop, you also create waste. You also create screenings. You also create sludge. You also have waste, etc. So besides the water loop, we also have to look to the waste loop in this company. So what we did is we built a biogas plant, and this biogas plant takes care of all the waste of this client. In fact, it generates so much biogas that we, with the energy, can run the complete wastewater treatment plant for electricity. And we also have leftover energy, which can be used for heating up water, which is needed in the slaughter process. So an integral approach in order to solve all the bacteria, all the wastewater problems and waste problems inside this factory. This is how we look at it.
Thank you very much. Eləyim Röşən müəllim. Emil bəy qeyd etdi ki, tullantının idarə edilməsi tək tullantı suyun təmizlənməsindən ibarət deyil. Tullantı suyun təmizlənməsi zamanı siz eyni zamanda tullantı zəncirini də idarə etməyə bacarmalısınız. Bu, əgər geçsək, toyuq fermasında sizin toyuğun tullantıları, yağlar və digər tullantıları nəzərə almalı olacaqsınız. Bu isə nəticə etibarında siz bu qapalı dövrəni idarə etməyə bacarmalısınız. Biz bu baxımdan da bioqaz sistemlərinin də qurulmasını təmin edən bir şirkət kimi çıxış edirik. Bundan bağlı qısa qeyd elədim. Buyurun Röşən müəllim.
For this information, which would be very useful for our audience. And I would like to ask you, what technology does your company use in wastewater management? You told that this company has very wide experience and long history in wastewater management. Could you give some information about that?
Your microphone is
muted. So now it's working. Then we have to talk maybe for 2 or 3 hours. But very black and white speaking, everything from the first pump it, where the water is collected, until the last pump it, where you have clean drinking water, we can engineer and we can deliver. Having said that, I have to be open and fair. It's not the case that we will produce everything ourselves. I mean, it does not make sense for our company to produce our own pumps. No, we will buy those pumps from other companies. What are our strong points? It's screening, flocculation flotation units, biological treatments, ultrafiltration and reversed osmosis steps, and also dewatering, etc. We build some parts of ourselves, but we also buy a very big amount of parts. We are able to deliver the complete equipment turnkey project. And in case clients also want to have civil constructions, etc., we will do that with local partners who are close to the client, who can also do the civil works for the client.
Emin bəyin qeyd etdiyi kimi, Röşən mənim sualına əsasən izləyəcəyimiz məlumatlandırım. Nijhuis Saur Industries nə texnologiyalardan istifadə edir? Emin bəy qeyd etdi ki, suyun girişindən çıxışına qədər olan bütün proseslərdə ilkin təmizləmə, ikincili təmizləmə, üçüncülü təmizləmə sistemlərində aktiv fəaliyyət göstərən texnologiyalar istehsal edir, onları layihələndirir və icrasını təmin edir. Bunlar screening, Azərbaycan dilində desək, siyirmə, bunlar təmizləmə, ultrafiltrasiya və əks osmoz sistemləri daxil olmaqla bütün mərhələləri əhatə edir və qeyd etdi ki, biz anahtar təslim, açar təslim layihələri götürürük. Bütün layihələri dizayn edilməsi, icrası, həmin xidmətlərin göstərilməsini lokal partnyorlarımızla birgə icrasını təmin etmək iqtidarındayıq. Və bunun üçün də yetərli təcrübəmiz və ixtisaslarımız imkan verir. Buyurun.
Thank you very much. Then another question is, for me personally, very interesting. At what level the technology of your company can be used? For example, do you make technologies for big cities or small residential areas at household level? Please give some information about this.
Very roughly speaking, we deliver starting from 1 cubic meter per hour, if you look to the volume, up to 20,000 cubic meter per hour. So there is a very wide field of clients which we can serve. I have to add to that, you don't have to start with closing the loop. You don't have to start with membranes or whatsoever. Every small company can start in its own way, based on its own potential and based on its own potential of investment with a simple filter system. And maybe in 2 years' time, add to that a flocculation flotation. And in 3 years after that, biologically. So you can do that all in steps. Everybody can contribute to saving the water and making clean water. But it does not have to start with big investments. It can start with very small investments. But as long as you think about the value of your wastewater and the value of your water, you will look to that and you do whatever is possible inside your company. We don't expect that everybody will close the loop in the coming 3 years. That will take time. But everybody can do something as long as you understand the value of the water.
It's really appreciated. Emiel, Azerbaijan is a relatively small country with 10 million of people, and nearly 10% of population have no direct access to water. And Azerbaijan is also a downstream country. We really need to have high water security. Azerbaijan depends on the water that comes outside. And as I see from your talkings that role of the wastewater recycling would be very important to maintain water security of the country.
Absolutely.
It's really good. What do you think? What do you think about the possibilities in Azerbaijani market? What you can do for Azerbaijan?
Well, if you look to the country Azerbaijan, you have to be aware that not everybody, as what you are saying, is connected to water, to clean water. So in order to solve that problem and to create bigger water security, we have to step down from our old thoughts that we have to do everything in a central way. We have to step down that we have to look to big central solution and then pump clean water to the people. No, we have to look to decentralized units, decentralized smaller units for small settlements, for small villages where we treat the wastewater containerized or maybe in a small building, make drinking water out of that and give that back to the people. This is the way how to look at this problem. Because if you have to put all the pipes into the ground for a country like Azerbaijan to give everybody security of having clean water, that will cost an enormous amount of money to put simply the pipes only in the ground. So it's, to my opinion, it's better to look small. It's better to look small, to manageable solutions. And of course, in those cases, in those cities where you have economy of scale, there you should go bigger. But you cannot go big for faraway rural settlements. And I think we should look to, let's say, solutions which are manageable and which are, let's say, decentralized. And this is also where we have solutions in the form of containerized solutions or those kind of things. So that's where I think there is the solution to increase the water security of the Azerbaijan people.
Okay, small translation, sorry. Sual bundan ibarətdir ki, hörmətli izləyicilərimiz, Azərbaycanla bağlı perspektivlər və su təhlükəsizliyini təmin üçün nələr irəli sürə bilərsiniz? Hörmətli cənab Koster bildirdi ki, böyük layihələrin qurulması edilməsi böyük yatırımlar tələb edir, böyük investisiyalar tələb edir. Bəlkə ilk etapda bu arzu olunan olmaya bilər ya investisiyalar, amma su təhlükəsizliyini və suya çıxışı asanlaşdırmaq üçün daha kiçik çözümlərdən başlamağı üstün tutur. Belə ki, konteynerləşdirilmiş və ya balaca kiçik həcmli sistemlərlə qəsəbə, kənd və rayon yerlərində suyun təmizlənib təkrar istifadəyə qaytarılması həmin su stresinin azaldılmasına da öz töhfəsini verə bilər. Bu qədər. Bir də Rövşən müəllim, mən tövsiyə edərdim ki, mümkünsə xanım Aygül də öz fikirlərini bildirərdi. O Cənub və Mərkəzi Asiya respublikalarında fəaliyyətləri ilə bağlı hansı təcrübələr görülüb orada?
Okay, very good. Aygül, можно я спрошу на русском?
Well, if it's okay, we can go with English, please. And
okay.
Translation English.
Can you share your experience in your region? What you did so far? What your company did so far?
Thanks for giving me a word, because I was really eager to speak about, because I think our country, like Kazakhstan, is quite a big country, but same as yours, is having some shortage of water, especially drinking water. And I wanted to share my experience, just real life experience. I was born in a village where you have to get really drinking water by a cart with a big 50-liter flag. I think you can imagine it. So you have to carry this cart with a flag or a tank of water for 2 or 3 kilometers to your house. And it's only, it was not really affordable for us. And we also, for our providing our living, we planted some cucumbers, tomatoes, and carrots. So in order to water all these plants, you have to, every day, you have to carry this water like back and forth 3 kilometers or 2 kilometers one way and back. And we were kids carrying every summer this water, and it was really hard work and hard job. And why I joined Nijhuis, because this is my kind of heart attachment or soul attachment to the company, because of this providing water solutions. And it still happens in our country. I don't know how many years passed since I left the village, but there are still problems. There are still such kind of areas in our country where we really feel scarcity of drinking water. And I think missioning water is vital for us. For me, water and life is same. Without water, we cannot live. And with the motor mission, water is something that brings meaning to your life. And this, and I think in Central Asia, same as Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Azerbaijan, we are quite close in mentality. We are quite more or less similar to weather conditions, climate conditions, culture. And I think maybe Ravshan and Orxan, maybe you can remember that in Oriental mentality, there was a saying that you will find a price, or you will find a price for water when you start buy it. And that's the point that I think nowadays we are coming to the time when we need to pay for water. In order, it's also very interesting, it's in our mentality that we really care about our future generation, and future because in our mentality that we also care about our future generation, in terms we want in our families to have sons, to see our families go further on a gender tree or genetic tree, you know. And if you think about that in terms of our culture, you will see that without water, our generation will never grow trees. And that is the point when you want your country, your people to understand the meaning of water, why we need to care about water, why the mission of water treatment is really important for our countries. We are not that big. We do have rivers, we do have lakes, we do have mountains, But why we do not care about water in terms of generation, growing generation for the future? So this is one point. And as for sharing our experience in Kazakhstan, I'm glad to tell you that our legislation and our government started to care about that. And I understand that without strict and really hard and strict rules, people won't do anything, because it happens. Sometimes as a father or mother have to tell a kid, just do it, and it will be good for you. So our government is quite supportive in this, in regards to the wastewater treatment, to the drinking water. And I see that in Kazakhstan, there are a lot of projects in food industry, in meat industry, in oil industry and mining. They are setting special rules and laws and make companies to follow the rules and legislation to make the production treat the wastewater before discharging to river or even the earth, because I think that's good. And in terms of Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan, for us, it's we look for it not as a market, but we also look for joining as a family to our company, joining the idea and unite people in idea, mission water. And that's how I see this.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Thank you, Aygül. I also want to mention that Nijhuis Industries and Saur Group has started a new mission. It's a mission water with hashtag. We also follow as a company Aqualink in Azerbaijan. We also made it viral, and we press it hard to government and our all partners to join and share their opinion in joining these mission water hashtags. I think it's a very good start for getting a people awareness into environmental problems. And I also want to thank you, both of you and your team, to starting for such a good mission on that caring water. And just small translation of what Aygül told. Hörmətli izləyicilərimiz, Aygül xanım Qazaxıstanı təmsil edir və o öz dövlətində olan təcrübələri qeyd etdi və kiçik bir qəsəbədən gəldiyini və həmin qəsəbədə su qıtlığı ilə bağlı insanların kilometrlərcə yol getdiyini qeyd etmişdi. Suyun qorunması nə üçün vacibdir? Həm Azərbaycan və Qazaxıstan, Özbəkistan bu tip ölkələrdə suyun idarə edilməsi təkcə suya çıxış üçün deyil, eyni zamanda suyun təkrar istifadəsinə, ağacların, əkinlərin, bitkilərin sulanmasına vacib olduğunu qeyd edibdir və ona görə çağırış edərək bu ölkələrdə qanunların daha sərtləşdirilməsi və nəzarət metodologiyaların gücləndirilməsinə çağırış edir. Çıxış yolu kimi bunu tövsiyə edir bizim təcrübəmiz üçün də. Eyni zamanda Azərbaycan da daxil olmaqla bu ölkələrin Nijhuis Saur Industries'in başladığı Mission Water, yəni su missiyası çağırışlarına qoşulmağa dəvət edir. Mən də öz növümdə qeyd etdim ki, Azərbaycan artıq bu çağırışa lokal şəkildə şirkət səviyyəsində biz kimi qoşulmuşuq və bizim partnyorlarımız da bu səviyyəyə qoşulubdur və biz bunu davam etdirəcəyik. Etiraz edəməsəz, Rövşən müəllim və hörmətli qonaqlar, I also want to share a small perspectives about Azerbaijani market. Nowadays, we will have a more discussion on the panel, of course, on 17th of May with you and with our distinguished guests. For information, Azerbaijan has a specialized authority who are dealing with wastewater treatment systems and wastewater. And we have a Ministry of Ecology who is monitoring and taking care of the executor to do his job good. So executor in this case is Azersu Open Joint Stock Company. It's a governmental company, 100% shareholders is government. And they own approximately 27 wastewater treatment system, from which 18 are under operation, but the rest of them is out of operation. So they are making a reconstruction or something. The information will be shared with us on 17th of May. And the Ministry of Ecology also has a monitoring agency, ecological monitoring agency, which is dealing only with monitoring the environment and bioresources. And their representative also on 17th of May will share their progressive work plan, what they are doing and what we are aiming to do in upcoming years. And plus, as a local company, Aqualink, we are in Azerbaijan since 2010, and since 2010 we have applied like 167 projects in water treatment, but unfortunately we have only three or five wastewater treatment projects, because as Aygül said that local laws and local regulations are not so strict in case of wastewater treatment systems, and government take too much responsibility on their own shoulders. They declare everywhere that we will treat your water, we will take care of the environment, but as a local company, as an expert, I also think it's wrong. The government should not take so much responsibility on its shoulders. Each company must at least pre-treat their wastewater and then discharge it to the sewage drainage canals. And these ideas and these focusing points we will be also put on our program on 17th of May. We will push government as hard as we can with international experience, with local experience, to change their ideas, opinions about taking too much responsibility on their shoulders. This was small information about what we see in Azerbaijan. The floor is yours, Mr. Roshan. Thank you. Roshan, mikrofonunuz bağlıdır.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Orxan, Aygül, Emiel, for your very useful information. I think this kind of technologies that introduced by your company are really important and really appreciated. And it will a long time serve to increase water security in Azerbaijan, to keep clean our water sources, and to open new ways to create new opportunities for integrated water management in Azerbaijan, because the recycled water use is one of the main options for our future, one of the main options for our population, for our strategy. I want to give you some information that Azerbaijani government is going to introduce the water strategy in the near future, and preparation is going on. And I believe and I foresee that the use of recycled water will be an essential part of the national strategy. So it will serve our nation in the future, and the strategy, and of course, coming up with these solutions will help us to not only keeping our water bodies clean, but also to increase access to clean water in Azerbaijan. Thank you very much. And if you have additional thoughts.
Yes, for closing remarks, dear Mr. Roshan, dear Mr. Emiel and Aygül, I think at first I thought that 40 minutes will be, we cannot reach the 40 minutes timeline, but your discussion and your experience is so interesting that it's almost 50 minutes that we are speaking on the live. So I will have a short closing remarks from Mr. Koster, then Ms. Aygül and Roshan, and then we'll be ending our today's discussion. Please, Mr. Koster.
Okay.
So first of all, I would like to thank everybody for attending this discussion. I do hope it was interesting. I do feel that the future of water will be better if everybody understands really the value of water. One simple remark, currently in the Netherlands we pay a lot for our gasoline and our benzene. It's more than €1.60 per liter. Imagine the world where everybody would pay €1.60 per liter of water. I think a lot of people would treat the water differently and would look into recycling. And I think this will be how we have to look at it, because in the future, the water will become the blue gold. And everybody is looking for gold because you can rich of that. But I think we have to look for the blue gold and make sure that we treat it well. Looking forward to meet everybody in person when traveling to Azerbaijan in May, and looking forward to discuss further on these aspects. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. It was really great meeting and great sharing of thoughts, and I hope in a water forum we'll be sharing more about your thoughts, and you will give much more information to the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Orxan. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Ravshan. Yeah, for letting
additional comments.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for sharing, for letting us share our ideas, and hope to meet everyone on 17th of May at Wastewater Treatment Forum. So let us hope that the Earth, I believe that Earth deserves nice ideas, and so let's do that.
Yes, thank you, Aygül. And dear friends, we are waiting for your appearance on 17th of May forum. And hereby I want to invite our viewers, our auditory, to join us on 17th of May. This will be not a one-time forum. We are planning to host it every year to raise much more awareness in public, in government, and also in local market sector, that water, as Mr. Koster said, that has value, and we need to take care of this value. We need to take care of this value because of our future, for our children. And I hope that we will raise public awareness in that field in our forum. And I wish to meet you as soon as possible, Mr. Koster and Aygül and Dmitri. I wish you safe trips to Baku, but also I want to share information with our author that we will have more discussion meetings on first and third panel on 5th of May and upcoming on 12th of May. So please join us in online meetings. Çox sağ olun. Azərbaycanca qeyd edim ki, biz yekunlaşdırırıq bugünkü çıxışımızı. Mən Rövşən müəllimə sizə təşəkkür edirəm. Bugünkü çıxışın moderatorluğu edədiniz. Hörmətli izləyicilər, qeyd edim ki, Rövşən Abbasov Xəzər Universitetində professordur. Orada dərs deyir və ixtisası tullantı sistemləri, tullantıların idarə edilməsi sahəsidir. Hörmətli cənab Koster bizə Hollandiyadan qoşulubdur. Cənab Koster Nijhuis Saur Industries'in satış bölməsinin rəhbəridir. Aygül Nurmagambetova Qazaxıstandan qoşulubdur. O regional bölmənin əməkdaşıdır və Dmitri Molokonov hal-hazırda Canlı yayımdan ayrıldı texniki problemlərlə əlaqədar. O Azərbaycanda daxil olan regional bölmənin direktorudur. Biz bugün tullantı sistemləri haqqında sizlərlə fikirlərimizi paylaşdıq və ümid edirəm ki, faydalı fikir alış-verişi oldu. Hər biriniz bu mövzudan bir faydalı məlumat əldə edə bildiniz. Buradan da çağırış edərək hər birinizi 17 mayda Bakı Bulvar Oteldə keçiriləcək Bakı Su İnnovasiyalar Forumuna dəvət etmək istərdim. Hər biriniz orada salınmaqdan məmnun olardıq. So thank you very much for joining and wish you a very nice weekend and happy Ramadan to all Muslims around the world. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.